Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial we are going to be working on this Filet heart baby blanket. Now I say baby blanket, I made mine the size of a baby blanket, but you guys can make yours any size you want to, and I'm going to explain that in just a second. So what we've got here, try to move everything so I can make room. I'm just going to unfold it here. We have filet hearts, and then we have a little border we're going to work around. And I have my baby Afghan is 3 hearts wide by 4 hearts long. Now you don't have to do it that size. You can do it whatever size you want to. I just suggest if you work 4 hearts wide, then I'd go 5 hearts long, or 2 hearts wide, go 3 hearts long, whatever you want to do, because that makes it a good shape for a blanket. So what this consists of is a 21 row repeat, which sounds like a lot, but once you get used to it, once you get past this first heart, you're gonna fly right through it. So our repeat consists of row 2. So we have a solid row of double crochet, that's row 1. Row 2 consists of the chain double crochet chain 1 all across, and then row 3, and then we go into our heart, and then after we finish the heart, we work 2 more rows of double crochet chain 1, double crochet chain 1, and then 2 rows of double crochet. Then we start over with row 2 and go to row 22, 2 through 22, 2 through 22. So it's not as hard as it looks. Okay, so for our chain multiple, it's going to depend on the number of hearts you want. So for instance, my blanket right here, we have 3 hearts. So to figure my stitch count, I needed 41 for my very first heart, and then 40 for my next heart, 40 for my next heart, and then add 7. And that would equal my chain count. So that would come to 128 chains. So if you wanted to your blanket to be bigger, you would add 41 of your first heart, and then 42 for your second heart, or I'm sorry, 42. 41 for your first heart, 40 for your second heart, 40 for your third heart, 40 for your fourth, 40 for your fifth, however many more you want, and then add 7. So I thought I had written down, I don't, but so you just have 41 for your first heart, 40 for each of your other hearts, then add 7, and that's your chain multiple. Okay, and for mine right here, I've got 3 hearts plus the border we're going to work, and it measures about 35.5 inches wide. And I did 4 hearts for the height of it. Let me see if I can measure this. Okay, I'm at 43 inches tall. So it's a pretty good size Afghan. I mean, you could work this and make it huge. But what we do, so we repeat our row repeats, and then for our border, we just work a row of single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, and then come back around with a 5 double crochet shell, single into the next, 5 double crochet shell, single into the next, and then we're done. So it's pretty easy to work. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. Yeah, obviously I need to tell you what you're gonna need. I forgot to weave in the tails. All right, so you are going to need your 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. Get you a pair of scissors. You're gonna need a yarn needle and a stitch marker in case you need it. I didn't use one, but you never know, you might need one. And then get you a tape measure so we can keep track of how big you're wanting yours to go. And then for our yarn, I used 4 skeins. This is the 4th skein. I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby in the color Hot Orchid. And I do want to say, make sure you get plenty that you are going to need for your Afghan if you are choosing to go with a yarn that has a dye lot. I had a yarn emergency and my very last skein was a different dye lot and was like 2 shades darker than the rest of the Afghan, and I was like, oh no. But thank goodness I took my blanket to Hobby Lobby and I laid it on the floor and pulled out each skein of Hot Orchid that they had and found one that matched perfect, and thank goodness I got home and I could finish this and get it out to you guys. So you're gonna need 4 skeins. I was gonna say, you know, if you had more hearts on your Afghan, you'd need 1 more skein for each heart for the height, but I don't think that's gonna come out right. But so I have 4 hearts for the height of mine and I used 4 skeins. I think that's just coincidence. I wouldn't go by that. I just get as much as you think you're gonna need and try to make sure you get it in the same dye lot. Okay, so this skein is 355 yards, 100% acrylic, and it's a size 4. So I would stick with any size 4 that you want to use. I don't think a size 3 would work. But yeah, any 4 weight you want to use, okay? All right, guys, get your supplies together and let's get started. Okay, so I have my chain of 128 done. And to start row 1, we are going to double crochet into the 3rd chain from our hook. So not this one or this one, but that very next one, the 3rd chain. We're going to work a double crochet right in there. And then we're just going to double crochet into all of our remaining chains all the way down. So row 1's easy. Alright, so just double crochet all the way down your chain, and I will meet you guys at the end, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm coming to the end of row 1. I've got 2 more chains that I need to double crochet into. There we go. Now that is the end of row 1. Okay, and you should have 126 double crochet plus 1 beginning chain 2 right there. Okay, now if you did 4 hearts, you should have 166 double crochet with your 1 beginning chain 2. And then if you just so happen to go crazy and do 5 hearts, you should have 206 double crochet plus 1 beginning chain 2. So you actually should have 127 stitches for 3 hearts, 167 stitches for 4 hearts, and 207 stitches for 5 hearts, which the chain 2 would be considered a stitch. Okay, so let's move on to row 2. We are going to chain 1 and turn. Now this is where it gets real quick. We are going to double crochet into that very first double. Right in there with a double crochet. Okay, now we're going to chain 1, skip the next double, double crochet into the next double. And that's what we repeat all the way across. Chain 1, skip 1, double into the next double. Chain 1, skip 1, double into the next double. Chain 1, skip the next, double into the next. And that's what we're going to repeat for row 2 all the way down our work. All right, so I'm going to repeat that all the way down, and I will meet you when we get to the end. Okay, so I'm coming to the end of row 2, and you can see I worked a double crochet, and then I have 1 double and then that beginning chain 2 left. So we're going to chain 1, skip that next double, and into that chain 2 work our last double crochet. Now I'm going to try to get through that back hump and the top loop of the chain, just so it makes a nice pretty edge coming up that side. Okay, so that is the end of row 2. Blech. All right, so now we are going to chain 1 and turn, And for row 3, we're going to do the exact same thing we just did. Double crochet into that first double. That's my heater if you guys hear that. Chain 1, skip your chain 1 space, double into the next double. Chain 1, double into the double. Chain 1, double into your double. Oops. Oh, come on now. There we go. And that is all we are going to do for the entire row, row 3. So I'm going to work that and I'll meet you guys when we get to this end. Okay, so I've made it to the end of row 3 and I have a chain 1 space and a double crochet left. And I just worked a double crochet, so I'm going to chain 1, skip that chain 1, and double crochet into our last double. All right, to move on to row 4, we chain 1 and turn. All right, so row 4, we're going to start our hearts. So we're going to start by double crocheting into that very first double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double. And we're going to repeat that. Chain 1, double into the next. Chain 1, double into the next. We're going to repeat it 10 more times, so we should have a total of 11 chain 1 spaces. So we just did 1, now we need 10 more. So I'm going to chain 1, double into the next double. There's 1. Chain 1, double into the next double. There's 2. Chain, double into the next double. There's 3. Double into the next double. So we keep repeating that. The chain 1, double crochet, repeat it 10 more times, and then when you're done after that 10th one, we should have a total of 11 chain 1 spaces. So I'm going to work mine and I'll be right back. Okay, so I repeated that chain 1, double crochet into the next double 10 more times, so I have a total of 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I did not. I missed one. Okay, now I should have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There, we've got it. Okay, so to start the very bottom of our heart, we are going to double crochet into the next chain 1 space, so right next to us, and then double crochet into the next double. And that starts the beginning of our first heart. And I will show you on my designing notes this bottom, I'll just use my pen, this bottom square right here, it consists of 3 double crochets. So there's the bottom of our heart, and then we're going to work up. All right, so now we need to work this space between here. So, and our pattern repeat starts right here. Chain 1, and we're going to work a double crochet into the next double, and that's the repeat. Chain 1, double into the next double. We're going to repeat that 18 more times. So we just worked it here. Now we're going to repeat it 18 more. So I have 1, and now I need to go 18 more, okay? So I should have 19 chain 1 spaces. All right, I'm going to finish that off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've repeated that and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Now we start the bottom of our next heart. Double crochet into the next chain 1 space. Double crochet into the next double crochet. And now we repeat that over again. Chain 1, chain 1, double crochet into the next double, repeat that until you have 19 chain 1 spaces. Then work your bottom of your double. Chain 1, 19 chain 1 spaces. Double crochet in the next chain 1 space and the next double. Start it over again. Chain 1. And so what we're creating is the beginning. Well, first what we're creating is the 19 chain 1 spaces, bottom of our heart. 19 chain 1 spaces, bottom of our heart. So you're going to repeat that for the number of hearts you have past your first one. So like this piece is going to be 3 hearts, so I need to repeat it for the second heart and for the last heart. So, oops, I'm sorry. So you're just going to repeat that. Chain 1, 19 chain 1 spaces, work the bottom of your heart. Chain 1, 19 chain 1 spaces, work the bottom of your heart. So I've got one more repeat to go. So I just finished the bottom of my first heart. So I'm going to start the repeat again. Chain 1, double into the next double. That's 1. Chain 1, double into the next double, and I'm going to repeat it till I get 19 more. So I'll meet you when I get my 19 chain 1 spaces done, and yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I just worked my next repeat with the 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so like I said, you just repeat the 19. We're going to finish our heart, or start our next heart. Okay, so I just did my 19. So that's our repeat, right? We work our 19 chain 1 spaces, start your new heart. 19 chain 1 spaces, start your new heart. And you repeat that, you know, for each of your hearts besides your first one. So mine's going to be 3. So I worked my first heart. Here's my second heart. And now that I'm to my last heart, this is how you're going to finish the row. But if you have 4, you're going to repeat that. Chain 1, double crochet in the next double, and 19 times, work the bottom of your heart. And you're going to repeat that until you get to your last heart. So I have my second heart. There's my first heart, second heart. So now I'm at the end of my row. So to finish our row, I got to start my third heart. So there's my 19th chain 1 space. And now I start at the bottom of my heart with a double crochet into the next chain 1 and a double into the next double. So there's my third heart. Now to finish the row, what we're going to do is chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. Chain 1, double into the next double. And we're going to repeat that to the end. And if we did everything right, we should have 11 chain 1 spaces. So there's 2, there's 3, chain 1, there's 4, 5, 6, there's 7, there's 8, chain 1, 9, oops, chain 1, double into that last double. Okay, now I should have 11 after the beginning of my first heart. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. I really, really hope I'm not confusing you guys. But what we should have is 11 chain 1 spaces at the beginning, start of our first heart. 19 chain 1 spaces, start of our second heart. 19 chain 1 spaces, start of your next heart. 19 chain 1 spaces, start of your next heart. And then to end, 19 chain 1 spaces, start of our last heart, 11 chain 1 spaces. If you guys need any help whatsoever, email me. My email address is in the description box. I worry. I really hope I'm not confusing you guys, okay? Okay, so that was row 4. Let's chain 1 and turn to start row 5. Okay, so to start row 5, we are going to double crochet in that very first double crochet. So yarn over, go right in there with a double. And now we chain 1 and double into the next double. And we're going to repeat that 9 more times. So instead of 11 like the last row, we're going to have 10 chain 1 spaces, because what we're doing now is increasing our heart. So to start, we have one already, one space already, but we need 10. So 9 more times, chain 1, double into the next, chain 1, double into the next double, chain 1, double into the next double, chain 1, double into the next double, chain 1, double into your next double. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 1, double into your next double, chain 1, double into your next double, chain 1. All right, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Chain 1, double into the next double. So now I have 10 chain 1 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we're going to increase our heart. So we're going to increase from 3 double crochet by first double crocheting into the next chain 1 space. Double crochet into each of the 3 doubles. Double crochet into the next chain 1 space.
Hey, honey.
Sorry about that, guys. All right, so we double crocheted in that chain 1 space. Now we double crochet into the very next double crochet. So now we should have 2, 4, 6, 7 double crochet for our heart. And now right here is where we start the pattern repeat that you're going to repeat for each of your remaining hearts besides the last, because we finished that row different. All right, so we chain 1 and we're going to go from 18 double crochets between our hearts, or I'm sorry, 19 chain 1 spaces between our hearts, and we're going to go down to 17. So we chain 1, double crochet into the next double, chain 1, double crochet into the next double, chain 1, double crochet into the next double, chain 1, double into the next double. So repeat that until you have 17 chain 1 spaces, okay? So I will get mine done and I will be right back. Okay, so I've worked my 17 chain 1 spaces, and now we will increase our next heart. So we work 1 double crochet into the next chain 1 space, double crochet into the next 3 double, double crochet into the next chain 1 space, and double crochet into the next double. So that, get off there. So we should have 2, 4, 6, 7 for our heart. So now what you do is just repeat 17 double crochet spaces, increase your 3 double crochet to 7, 17 double crochet spaces, 3 to 7, and you're going to repeat that for your hearts all the way across until you get to your last heart. So I have one more repeat I need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start my 17 chain 1 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that till my last heart. Okay, so I have the 17 double crochet between my 2 hearts, and I'm at my last heart. So I'm going to increase it from 3 to 7 with a double into the very next chain 1 space, double into the next 3 double, double into the next chain 1 space, and a double into the next double crochet. All right, so now my last heart is from 3 to 7, and we finished the row. If you happen to notice, we finished the row exactly the same way as we started it. So when we started it, we worked 10 chain 1 spaces. So to end the row, we need 10 chain 1 spaces. So chain 1, double into the next double. Chain 1, double into the next double. Chain 1, double into the next double. Chain 1, double. Chain 1, double. Chain 1, double. Keep working that until the very end. All right, so there's my last chain 1 space and my last double. So I'm going to chain 1, double crochet into that very last double, and I should have 10 chain 1 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, that is the end. What row? Row 5. All right, so let's move on to row 6 by chaining 1 and turn. Now row 6. So if you're noticing, to start our heart, we started with 11 chain 1 spaces, 10 chain 1 spaces. So row 4 was 10 chain 1 spaces. Row 5 was 10 chain row 4 was 11 chain 1 spaces. Row 5 was 10 chain row spaces. So row 6, how many chain 1 spaces do you think we go down to? 11, 10, 9. So to start row 6, we go down to 9 chain 1 spaces. So we chain 1 and turn. We're going to double crochet into that very first double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double. Chain 1, double into the next double. So repeat that. Chain 1, double into your next double. Chain 1, double into your next double until you have 9 chain 1 spaces, okay? So I'm going to get mine done and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my 9 chain 1 spaces. So now we're to our first heart, and now what we do is we're going to increase it from 7 double crochet to 11 double crochet. And we've already got one right here, so we need to double crochet into that next chain 1 space, and then double crochet into the next 7 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, now we double crochet into the next chain 1 space and double into the next double. So now you should have a row of 11 double crochet. Okay? All right, now here's the pattern repeat for the rest of your hearts. We chain 1, and then the last row we had, was it 17 chain 1 spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, so for row 6, we go from 17, we're going to come in to 15. So now you need 15 chain 1 spaces between each of your hearts. So I'm going to chain 1, skip the next chain 1 space, double crochet into the next double. There's 1. Chain 1, double into the next double. Chain 1, double into the next double. And we're going to repeat that until you have 15 chain 1 spaces, okay? So I've already got 3, and I will meet you once I get 15, okay? We'll be right back. Okay, so I have my 15 chain 1 spaces. So now we increase our next heart from 7 to 11. So we double crochet into the next chain 1 space and into the next 7 doubles. Okay, so now we double crochet into the next chain 1 space and then double crochet into that next double. So the repeat is chain 1, double crochet into the next double, repeat that till you get 15 chain 1 spaces, and then we increase our heart from 7 to 11. 15 chain 1 spaces, 7 to 11. Repeat that for each of your hearts until you've increased that last heart. Okay, so here's the end of my work. Here's the last heart. I repeat one more time, 15 chain 1 spaces, and then I'll increase this last heart from 7 to 11, and I will meet you guys there. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I just increased my last heart from 7 to 11, and now to finish row 6, we're going to do exactly the same thing we did as we started it. We're going to end with 9 chain 1 spaces. So we chain 1, double crochet into the last double, chain 1, or last double, next double, double into the next double, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double, chain 1. I'm going to get this done real quick. Okay, so now I'm to my last double, so I'm going to chain 1 and double crochet into that very last double crochet, and there should be 9 if we did this right. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So it ends and begins with 9 double crochet. All right, so that is the end of row 6. So to move on to row 7, we're going to chain 1 and turn. All right, so row 6 was 9 double crochet, chain 1 spaces, I'm sorry. So for row 7, we should be down to 8 chain 1 spaces before we increase our heart. So we chained 1, now we're going to double crochet into that very first double crochet, chain 1, double into the next double, chain 1, double into the next double, and I'm going to repeat that until I have 8 chain 1 spaces. Oops. Okay, so I should have 8 now. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. All right, now we are going to increase our heart again from 11 up to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. All right, so what we do is after our 8 chain 1 spaces, double crochet into that very next chain 1 space, double crochet into the next 11. I am actually what I'm expecting is this video to be pretty long. So now that we're getting into these longer straight lines of double crochets, instead of staying on camera and you guys watching me do every one of those single crochets, I'm gonna pause it, and I'm just the reason I'm doing that is to try to keep this video from being 2.5 hours long. All right, so I'm gonna pause it and work those double crochets real quick. Okay, so I've worked across those doubles. Now I'm going to double crochet into the very next chain 1 space and into the very next double crochet. So that should take us up to 2 4 6 8 10 12 14 15 double crochet. And now here starts the pattern repeat. Chain 1, and now we are going to work the chain 1 spaces between each of our hearts. So we should end up having 13 chain 1 spaces. All right, so we chain 1, double crochet into the next double, chain 1, double into the next double. All right, so there's 2. We need 13 between each of our hearts. So go ahead and get your 13 chain 1 spaces done, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my 13 chain 1 spaces. Now I increase my next heart. So there's my 13th chain 1. So now I'm going to double crochet into the next chain 1, double crochet across those doubles, double crochet in that chain 1, and double crochet into that next double. So I'm going to get that done off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, so I double crocheted across those 11 double into the next chain 1 space and then into that next double. So now I should have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 double crochet. So we just start that repeat again. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double until you have 13 double crochet and you're at your next heart, and then you're going to increase it from 11 to 15 and then start again. Chain 1, double, chain 1, double till you have 13 chain 1 spaces, increase your next heart. So I'm going to work that repeat one more time. I'm going to chain 1, double into my next double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double, 13 double crochet. I'm going to increase my last heart, and I will meet you after I increase my very last heart. Okay, so I just increased my last heart. So now to finish the row, I'm going to chain 1 and double into the next double, chain 1, double, and repeat that until we should end the same way we started, with 8 chain 1 spaces. Almost done. All right, I've got one more to do. Chain 1, double into my last double, rotate it just a little bit. Right there's the top of that double. Now we should have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good deal. Okay, so that was row 7. So to move on to row 8, we chain 1 and turn. Okay, so now we're going to go from 8 chain 1 spaces down to 7. My chair is stuck on something. There. All right, so I chained 1. Now we just double into our first, chain 1, double into the next double, chain 1, double into the next double. Repeat that until we have 7 chain 1 spaces. I'm just gonna whip through these real quick. Come on now. Chain 1 and double. All right, so that should be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, now we're gonna increase our heart. Let's see, we had 15, so 16, 17, 18, 19 double crochet. So I'm gonna double crochet in that chain 1. And now I'm going to double crochet into those 15 doubles. So I'll get that done and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've double crocheted into those 15 double, and now I'm going to work into the next chain 1 space and into the next double crochet. And now you should have 19 double crochet across there. So now we start our repeat, which is the chain spaces between our hearts. So that starts with the chain 1, and now we're going to go from 13 chain 1 spaces down to 11. So here's 1 and 13, and we're going to come in on both sides, and then we should have 11 chain 1 spaces. So we just worked our first. That chain 1 is the actual very beginning of our repeat. So we chain 1, double crochet into that next double, chain 1, double into the next double, chain 1, double into the next double. So just repeat that until you have 11 chain 1 spaces. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my 11 chain 1 spaces. So now I'm to my next heart, and we're going to increase that up to 19. So I already have 1, and now we double crochet into that chain 1 and double crochet into across the line of double crochet. All right, I'm going to get that done off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I worked across those double crochet 15. Now I'm going to double crochet into that next chain 1 and then double crochet into that next double crochet. So there's my row of 19. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. Now I just start that repeat over again. Chain 1, 11 chain 1 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Increase your heart up to 19. 11 chain 1 spaces, increase your heart up to 19. I just realized I'm halfway off camera. Increase your heart. Oh my goodness. 11 chain 1 spaces, increase your heart to 19. 11 chain 1 spaces, increase your heart to 19. So I need to work that one more time. 11 chain 1 spaces, and then I'm going to increase my last heart, and then we're going to finish the row. So I'm going to do that off camera, so I will be right back. All right, so I just increased my last heart, and now we're going to finish the row exactly like the way we started it, with the chain 1, double, and then we should have 7 chain 1 spaces. And get through this. All right, one more, chain 1, double into the very last double crochet right there. Okay, so I should have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good deal. Okay, so that is the end of row 8. So we're going to move on to row 9. All right, so to start row 9, we chain 1 and we're going to turn. And now we're going to go down to 6 chain 1 spaces. So we chain 1, turn, and I'm going to double into that very first double crochet. Chain 1, double into the next double. So there's 1, and we need 6. 2, 3, 4, there's 5, chain 1, and there's our 6 chain 1 spaces. So that's how we're going to start and end row 9, 6 chain 1 spaces. So now we increase our heart up to 23 double crochet. So at this point, I think you guys got it. We double crochet into that next chain 1, double crochet across our row of doubles, double crochet into that chain 1, and then into the next double, and we should have 23 double crochets. So I'm going to let you guys increase your heart by yourself, and then I'm going to come back. So I will be right back. Okay, so I increased my heart to 23 double crochet. So now the spaces in between our hearts, we need to go down to 9. So we just worked the last double of our heart. So we chain 1, double into the next double. Chain 1, double into the next double. Repeat that until you have 9 chain 1 spaces. Okay, so I have my 9 chain 1 spaces, and now I'm to my next heart. So I'm going to increase that, what was it, 19 to 23. So how many do we, I don't remember, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, yeah. So we're going to go from 19 to 23. So increase your heart and I will come right back. Okay, so I increased from 19 to 23 double crochet. So I start that repeat again. Chain 1, double the next double. Repeat that till you have 11 chain 1 spaces. Increase your next heart from 19 to 23. 11 chain 1 spaces, 19 to 23. Repeat that until you've increased your very last heart, and I'm going to meet you at that double crochet that finishes increasing our very last heart, okay? So I will be right back. Okay, so I just increased my last heart to 23 double crochet, and now I'm going to start the end of my row, and it's going to be the exact same chain 1 spaces as the beginning, so we should have 6. So chain 1, double crochet into the very next double, chain 1, double into the next double, chain 1, double into the next double. Oops, that's 3 chain 1 spaces. I need 6. There's 4. There's 5. I've at the very last chain 1, and there are my 6 chain 1 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, that is the end of row 9. So we are going to move on to row 10. Okay, so to start row 10, we are going to chain 1 and turn. Now for row 10, we're going to take our beginning chain 1 spaces down to 5. So we chained 1, and now we're going to double crochet into that very first double crochet right there. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double crochet. So there's 1 chain 1 space, and we need 5. So 2, double into the next double, 3, double into the next double, 4, double into the next double, and 5, double into the next double. All right, so now we're going to increase our heart from 23 double crochet to 27 double crochet. So what we're going to do, double crochet into that next chain space, double crochet into each double crochet, double crochet into that next chain space, and then double crochet into that next double. So then we should have a row of 27 double crochet. So you guys go ahead and get that done. I'm going to get mine off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got that increase finished. So I went from 23 to 27. Now for our pattern repeat, what we start with is the chain 1, double crochet into the next double, chain 1, double crochet into the next double, and we repeat that till we have 7 chain 1 spaces. So we're taking it from 9 to 7. So that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we come down to 7. So the pattern repeat starts with chain 1, double into the next double. That's 1 chain 1 space right there. We need 7. So 2, there's 3, double into the next double. There's 4, double into the next double. There's 5, chain 1. There's 6 chain 1s. 7, double into the next double. Okay, so that's the repeat for the rest of your hearts, all the way across until you finish the increase on your last heart. So what you do is chain 1, double into the next double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double, until you have 7 chain 1 spaces. After you work your 7th chain 1 and double, then we increase our heart to 27 double crochet. Start that over again. Chain 1, double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double. Repeat that till you have 7 chain 1 spaces. Increase your next heart to 27 double crochet. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and work my repeat and I will come back when I finish increasing my very last heart, okay? So I will be right back. Alrighty, so I just increased my last heart, and now we're to the end, and we end it the exact same way we began, with 5 chain 1 spaces. So there's my last double crochet for my no, it's not. I have one more to go. I'm sorry. I better check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't get that last stitch. All right, so now I end with my 5 chain 1 spaces. Chain 1, double into the next. That's 1, chain 1, that's 2, chain 1, that's 3, chain 1, double into that next double, that's 4, chain 1, and double into my last double crochet right there. And there's my 5 chain 1 spaces. Okay, so that's the end of row 11. It's starting to come along. So we are going to chain 1 and turn and start row 12. So row 12, we are going to start our beginning chain spaces. It's going to go down from 5 to 4. Okay, so we chained 1, and now we're going to double crochet into that very first double crochet. Chain 1, that's 1 chain space, double into that next double, chain 1, that's 2, double into your next double, chain 1, that's 3, double into the next double, chain 1, double into the next double, and there's our 4. So now we increase our heart again, and we're going to increase it to 31. So we're at 27, and now we're going to go up to 31. So I'm going to double crochet into that chain 1 space, double across all these double crochets, double crochet into that chain 1 space, and then double into that double, and then we should be at 31 double crochet. So I'm going to get those done off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished increasing my first heart here, and I have 31 double crochet. Okay, so now we're to the space between our 2 hearts. So we're going to start our pattern repeat, starting with this chain 1 that we're getting ready to work, and then we're going to double crochet into the next double, chain 1, double, chain 1, double. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chain 1 spaces down to 5. So our pattern repeat starts here. Chain 1, double into the next double. Chain 1, double into the next double. That's 2. Chain 1. That's 3 chain 1s. Chain 1, that's 4. Got 1 more. Chain 1 and double into the next double, and that is 5. So now we're down to 5 double crochets between each of our hearts. So the pattern repeat starts with our chain 1, double, chain 1, double, and we go down to 5 chain 1 spaces, and then we get to our next heart and we increase our heart, which we already have 1 stitch, so we double crochet, or I should say double crochet, not stitch. We already have 1 double, so now we double into that chain 1 space right here, double into each of the next double crochet, double into that next double, and then double into that next chain 1 space, double into that next double, and then we start the repeat over. Chain 1, double crochet into the next double, chain 1, double into the next double, until we have 5 chain 1 spaces, increase your heart, 5 chain 1 spaces, increase your heart. Repeat that all across your blanket, and stop when you increase your last heart, okay? And then we're going to come back and finish the row, okay? So I will be right back. I'm going to get all that done. Okay, I just finished increasing my last heart. So now we're going to finish this row the exact same way we started. 5 chain 1 spaces. So we chain 1, skip the next chain 1, double into the next double. That's 1, chain 1, that's 2, chain 1, that's 3. Uh-oh, am I off? Chain 1. Why do I only have 4? Why do I have 4? Because that's how many I'm supposed to have. I'm a dork. I got off track with the 5 in the center. I thought we were supposed to have 5 here, but we only have 4. 4 at the beginning, or the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 at the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yay! Okay, guys. I'm going to stop here because this video is already almost at an hour. I am going to have a part 2 where we are going to finish the heart. This was row 11, so we're going to start at row 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 row, we're done with the heart. Then we're going to do the 2 row of double crochet, chain 1, 2 row of solid double crochet, and then our repeat starts over. So this part 2 is going to finish the heart, and then we're going to finish the row repeats, okay? All right, so I'm going to post that as soon as I get done here. So, as always, guys, you're the greatest. You guys are the best subscribers. Okay, so hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss what I've got coming out next. Hit that thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.